What was your situation before coming to Southwest?
Well, Araceli, thanks. I've been to Southwest several times over the course of some years since 2008. Once was in the wake of a stress fracture, and another time we just wanted to kind of, I think, maybe work on general alignment and issues with my legs, and more recently to help work through what felt like could be some back issues and possible sciatic nerve stuff that's come up. So there have been multiple reasons over the years.
And what kind of problem do you have with your hip when you came the first time with your hip?
Oh, yeah. Well, the first time I came, going all the way back to some years ago, I'd had a stress fracture, the neck of my femur. And so there was also, I think, some labrum that got torn at that time. So I came to Southwest Physical Therapy, and we began to sort of unwind the injury and work on especially my psoas muscles, very tight. In fact, we said they were bowed. They were so tight. And now I got a yellow ball and the 4-inch ball, and I use it all the time now. And I get good marks from you, Araceli, on keeping my psoas in shape.
Very good. All right. And can you describe the pain that you had, Tim?
Yeah. I mean, well, you know, having a stress fracture, you feel it when you're walking. It makes it so that running is highly unadvisable, because if you keep going on an injury like that, it could become like a real fracture of the bone, not just a crack in a bone. So you have to stop. And with respect to more recently, with respect to nerve stuff, you know, you feel pain in your lower back through your glute and down your leg sometimes to differing degrees, and it's intermittent and it moves around a little bit, and it's really mercurial and a little tough to figure out.
How did that make you feel?
Well, it's from the physical standpoint, obviously there's pain, and you are working to try and, I suppose, unlock the mystery of specifically what's going on with you. And, you know, psychologically, we all, I love to be active. I love to be out. I'm a runner. I love to run, and been running since I was 13 years old. And I want to keep going and be active for as long as I can in life. So there's feelings of frustration that pop up because you're doing what you think is everything right to try and manage an injury. And sometimes we just have to try to find those trigger points in our body that will help us to unwind things. And sometimes it feels a little worse before it feels a little bit better. When we do myofascial release, we just have to remember to be confident that it's not always a linear progression, and we have to keep doing our homework at home to roll on, you know, keep the psoas rolling on that, roll out on the foam. Try to de-stress, stay hydrated, eat a good diet, and smile. and keep going to see you, Araceli.
All right. And what were the things that you couldn't do?
Well, mainly when anytime you sustain an injury as a runner, there's always that question of, oh gosh, can I run through this, or is this a situation where I really need to stop? So first and foremost, obviously running, you know, my chosen act, if you're a cyclist, if you're a swimmer, whatever it is you do, your chosen activity could be impaired. But even recently, I mean, even going back to the stress fracture back on the left leg, and come up recently to the back stuff on the lower right side recently, you feel that stuff even when you're walking. And so it impairs your regular sense of well-being throughout the course of your normal day.
Yeah, I know, it's tough. And how did you feel? How was the emotion when you couldn't when you couldn't run, and when you had to stop because of the fracture and then the back?
Well, there's always the, I think they have those 5 stages of grief, you know, when you, when
I
anger,
remember you being
bargaining,
negative.
guilt, denial, and acceptance. It's kind of like I think on a mini level, whenever we have to pause from a chosen activity that we love to do, we don't feel great. You know, we want to feel better. And eventually you do accept that you're having to dial it back, but you'd feel better if you could, you know, just get back to what you love to do.
Oh, yeah, sure. And what have you tried before you came to Southwest?
Well, in my case, if you go back way back when, obviously there was a great orthopedist doctor that I went to. We diagnosed the situation with the with the stress fracture. And you know, physical therapy is something that is sometimes really helpful for people. It's a little different. The kinds of physical therapy that some people do is a little different than the myofascial release. Getting radiology, you know, getting X-rays done and MRIs done is a way to try and get a clearer picture of what's going on. But sometimes the X-rays and the MRIs don't show everything. Like, to go back to the leg issue years ago, we had a stress fracture there. But you come up more recently to the situation with my back. The MRI and the X-rays were clean. Didn't definitively show a particular injury. So I did physical therapy, which was some help, and we did a little strengthening around the area. But doing some work on myofascial release was one of the key factors in helping to improve the current situation.
But physical therapy didn't really help. You know, something was missing.
Yeah, you know, the PT was great to keep me moving. I would say that what was happening with the physical therapy was that there were observed improvements in how I was feeling intermittently. And then I was noticing that I was having some recurring, that it was normal for this type of injury to feel like it was intermittent and recurring. So I decided to augment physical therapy with some continued myofascial release. And I think that was a factor that was helpful.
All right. And you thought that it was going to get worse and worse, or at one point?
You know, this is, yeah, in terms of the recent stuff, I didn't know if it would get worse. I've never contended with this before. This is the first time I've had this type of pain that way. That could have been a nerve issue. So I wasn't sure what to expect in terms of the trajectory.
Oh, okay. Right.
I know one thing I wanted to do was make sure I did everything in my power to have it go back the other way and get better.
Very good. Yes. And when this situation changed?
Well, you know, as I said, it was intermittent from the early part of this year up until the springtime. I was still dealing with this intermittent pain. I'm still working through some lower back stiffness, but I'm back to running again. I'm back to about 20 miles per week and hoping to build just a little bit more, maybe get to 25, maybe even 30 miles a week. I'm also, there's also been a little bit of chiropractic care. So there's been physical therapy, myofascial release, some chiropractic care, and the myofascial release, I think, really helped to make sure that I was balanced in my hips. Things I do every day to make sure my hips are balanced. And that's been a big key, I think, in helping to support the goal for alignment.
Very good. And you remember, Tim, what happened in your first meeting at Southwest?
I remember I was using a cane.
Yeah.
And I came in, and you know, it was the end of a long, like, a work day or something, and I was really, I think, anxious about trying to get better. But what happened? What happened?
I don't know. I remember that you were really angry.
I don't think I was in a good mood about being injured
I
at
know.
all. No, I think I did not like that. I was really hopeful that this stress fracture would be something that we could improve rapidly, because at the time it was I was training for the Boston Marathon.
Yeah.
And it was my big goal to qualify for the Boston Marathon and run in the Boston Marathon. And I qualified in 2007, and then in 2008, I was sad to not get to participate, but I did medically defer, and after we got through that, I did get to run the Boston Marathon in 2009. So that was a really happy ending to that.
And when did you realize that, we can help? We can help you.
I think obviously we miss Mike, and you are there. You and Mike are incredible. Both of you were very encouraging to me, to let me know that there were things that I could do at home to keep, sort of do my homework. So between visits, I could do things that would make each successive visit perhaps more, we'd be further along. And I think after, a few visits, I really was convinced that, I was beginning to feel less wound up with this injury, and that we were on some path to improving. And I really look forward to coming, because not only was it a comfort to begin to feel better physically, the kindness and the compassion and the care, human touch, the care that you put into your work is something that's always meant a lot to me. And so it makes it fun to go and chat and laugh and smile and just be optimistic and have that positive energy around, constantly keeping that optimism that we know we can do this. We know we can do it. And there's no energy around any pessimism or feeling, oh, this just can't, oh, we can always do better and give our best. So that atmosphere is something that it's good to be around. That energy is part of the healing process, I think.
Great. And tell me something, on a scale of 1 to 10,
yes,
like 1, like my treatment didn't work at all.
Yes.
10 would be the best treatment that you ever had. How would you rate it?
30. No, it's just 1 to 10. Is that my only? Okay, so yeah, no, 1's way out of there. No way. No, of course it, like, hey, 9, 10. Are you kidding me? Because, like I said, it's the ability to unwind those injuries. For each session was different. And that's something I really hope people know. Every time you go see Araceli, the way that you approach the whole body treatment and where to go for these trigger points changes from week to week. And overall, over time, then you create a holistic way of improving the situation. So it's not like a routine necessarily. There are things that come up, recurring themes in your myofascial release. Like, for example, with me, the psoas is often, that's something that's often a central theme for a lot of people, I suspect, coming for myofascial release. But everyone has a different session, right? 5 people could come in a given day, and 5 different paths could be there. And up to and including like the time we've had foot things that we've worked through, right? And we have to put pressure on the foot sometimes on the plantar fasciitis, and sometimes the encouragement to yell out and even make noises as that's happening. You'll feel a little bit of pain, but we're not creating an injury. We're working through maladies that are helping us to get better.
Very good. You got it. And why would you recommend Southwest Myofascial Release?
I not only would I do all the time. I tell people, if you're looking for myofascial release, you really cannot do better than this. I know, Araceli, how seriously you take your practice, and you've gone to so many different seminars and workshops to meet with all the people who really do this. John, the guy who invented this whole thing, right, and came up with a lot of this stuff as an approach to it that you've embraced. And I know you're always looking for ways to hone your practice, and that's something that we all benefit from. Our community benefits from that because you do that work, and I couldn't be more grateful to you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. It was great to see you.
Great to see you, Araceli.
Talk to you too.
Please keep doing what you're doing, and I know I'll probably see you again very, very soon.
Okay. Okay, thank you for your time, Tim.
Okay.
And I hope your mom is fine.
Thank you. Thank you, Araceli.
She will.
Okay. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you.